In this video, come explore the Cameron Highlands with me. I'm on a wonderful day tour with Cameron Secrets. I highly recommend them. And we started here at what is called the Sunrise Point, and also wonderful other times of the day. I'm on my way to see the Boh Tea Plantation in the Cameron Highlands in Malaysia, and this is absolutely stunning and for once looks exactly like all the pictures I've ever seen of it.
Plantation in Malaysia only. 2 in Cameron Highlands, 2 in Selangor.
Our awesome guide explained to us a bit about the size of this plantation, something like 3,000 hectares, and that it's owned by a British-Scottish family that still owns it today. It's one of the few that you can visit. He said the Boh Tea Plantation where we went is the most beautiful in the Cameron Highlands. He also explained that they pick only the newest leaves because they crumple easier and the smell and the taste is stronger than the older leaves. We were lucky on our drive to the Mossy Forest to drive just at the moment when some of the workers were out in the field picking and gathering the tea leaves. The view is lovely, and you have to be lucky to get here when the clouds haven't all obstructed the view. We made our way around the walkways, and as you can see, the view and being in nature like that was just stunning. And eventually on the path, you find your way to a platform. You walk up to the top, and that's where you can see these beautiful views, but only if the clouds aren't in the way once again. So try to go on a sunny day. The Mossy Forest may be one of the world's oldest. From the Mossy Forest, we made our way on very narrow, windy roads back over to the Boh Tea Plantation where we got to taste the teas. And after the tasting, we got to look at the beautiful views. Around the center of Kea Farm are several of the activities people tend to do when they come to the Cameron Highlands. So this is the Orchid and Rose Garden, which had a lot of flowers and some fun animals. Hello. They were really affectionate because of the carrots, not my animal magnetism, sadly. Let's talk toilets in Malaysia for a moment. You're gonna see these a lot, but don't fret because every time I've gone, there's also another toilet with one of these. Yay! There are a lot of stray dogs in the Cameron Highlands. I fed as many as I could, but it was rather heartbreaking. I don't know how I'm going to eat all this, but I had to try a steamboat since I'm here in the Cameron Highlands. This is typically a dish that you share, but I found a place that said it was for one person. But it's very confusing because I had to order 2 soups. I didn't understand that the pot would be separated into 2, and I could have tried 2 different soups. Oops. And then I had to order way more sides than I was planning to, but hey, gotta try it. My verdict on the steamboat is I'm really glad that I tried it, but it was way too much food for one person. Some of it was delicious, but it didn't have a lot of flavor, and I didn't want something too spicy, which was probably the problem. And I wasn't sure how to order. I feel like I needed a teacher or something to show me exactly what to order and how it all works. So for next time I'll know. I would try it again, but not by myself. It costs 40 ringgit for one person or 2 to pick your own strawberries. So since it only costs 10 ringgit to get a box of them, I opted for that, and I'm going to eat them now. Good. Worth buying. Should you come pick your own strawberries? I would say if there are at least 2 of you and you're prepared to take away a half a kilo of them and eat them all, yes. If not, maybe just come by and buy yourself a small package of them. There were 2 sizes, one for 10 ringgit, one for 20. And again, the price for picking your own berries is 40 ringgit. Whether you're 1, 2, or have kids with you, it's the same price. This is the market area, which makes the traffic jams everyone talks about. I'm now in the butterfly park, and as you can see, pretty beautiful, and they're just right there in front of you. Looks like the butterfly park has a few other things besides butterflies. Hello. I'm staying right near this Kea garden, and the market is here, so it's very crowded during the day, every day. And this is a lot further out from the center of town than I realized. However, it's actually much nicer. The town center is kind of just like, I think, a street of restaurants. There's a Starbucks. It's really touristy, and though it is a little touristy here as well, it's actually right in walking distance from a lot of the sites that you'll want to see. So there is the disadvantage that many of the tour companies pick up from the center of town, but they seem to be willing to come out here as well. It is a roughly 30 ringgit taxi ride. I just walked to this cactus farm from my hotel, and for some reason all the truck drivers passing by were waving at me and welcoming me to Malaysia. I don't know what that was about, but I guess that was nice. If you want to carry a cactus back with you in your luggage, I guess this is the place to go. I'm attempting to walk to the Boh Tea Plantation. The road is two-way traffic, and this is not the most comfortable walk I've ever had in my life, but lovely view this way. While the walk is a bit scary on my own, I even met some people riding motorcycles who asked me why I was walking alone and told me to be careful. The bonus is I'm here virtually by myself with no other tourists. Happily, I got a lift from my tour company from the day before, Cameron Secrets, so I didn't have to walk all the way to the tea plantation on that road, or back. They even arranged a ride back for me. On this ride back, you can get a little more of an impression of how narrow this road is and how not so safe it feels to be walking alongside all this traffic. This is the central town of Tanah Rata, so there's not much to it apart from some shops and hotels. which is why, though I was at first surprised and concerned at how far away I was from here, I ended up being really happy that I was there. Should you come to Cameron Highlands? My take? Yes, definitely. How long should you stay in the Cameron Highlands? I would say no more than 2 or 3 days. There are a number of things to do here, but you can do them all within a day or two. And once you have, there's not a lot else to do, and it begins to feel a little bit like a touristy town where what there is constructed for tourists. Where should you stay in the Cameron Highlands? That for me is a subject of debate. Most people will stay in the town center where the bus arrives, called Tanah Rata, and it is very central to everything. It's where taxis are, transportation, all the tours go from there, so it's very easy. However, it is a very touristy town. I think it's one strip, there's a Starbucks, so it doesn't feel very authentic. I stayed out in Kea Farm, which I found much more lovely. It's got more vegetation. There is a market here that gets a lot of people, but it's walking distance from pretty much everything that you want to do. The challenge is that all of the transportation comes from the town center. So if you want to join a tour, it can be difficult. If you want a taxi, it can be quite expensive. And there's traffic jams all the time here because of the market. So the hours that people want to transport you are usually early in the morning or later at night when the market is not open. If you do any tours here, definitely shop around for prices. I was kind of astonished that I could eat for under $5 a meal, but tours could range as much as $20 and $30, which in the grand scheme of things might not be a ton of money, but comparatively it seems like a lot of money. I was able to do a half-day tour of the Boh Tea Plantation and Mossy Forest for 55 ringgit, which is about $11 or $12 on a group tour, which was very reasonable. But when I inquired about going other places, people wanted up to 100 and 150 ringgit, or even 90 ringgit, which is almost $20, to just do a back and forth taxi drive from Kea Farm out to the Boh Tea Plantation, which is only a few kilometers, and the taxi from the center of town to Kea Farm, which was much longer, was only 30 ringgit. So watch the prices. All in all though, I would say definitely come to the Cameron Highlands.